Design Team Tips, I'd like to share with you how to get a watercolored look using paper tray ink stamps. I'm starting off with an A2 size piece of watercolor paper as my card front, and I have this aqua brush that I found by Pentel Arts. It holds water in the back end and acts like a paintbrush. Depending on how hard you squeeze the brush, you can control the amount of water that comes out. So I'm going to start with a solid floral image from the Sweet Life stamp set with Lovely Lady ink. And this technique works really well with two-step stamps, this watercolor technique. The solid image is stamped, and then we can blend it a little with our water, our aqua brush, and then the second, more detailed stamp will be stamped over the top. So you can see this didn't stamp perfectly, but that's okay because we are going to actually blend it with the water. So I've actually got the water started. I've squeezed it just a little bit and dabbed it on my paper towel so I can see how much water is coming out. I don't want a whole lot. I just want a little tiny bit of water. It's always best to start off with a little tiny bit, and if you need more, you can add more. Even after you add the water, and as it dries, it will even blend more. So it looks like it's not blending at first, but trust me, as it dries, it will blend even more, so you don't want to add too much at the very beginning. Also, if you don't have one of these aqua brushes, that's perfectly fine. You can use a paintbrush. I would get a clean paintbrush and just a tiny bit of water to dip it in, and then just blend your stamped images with a paintbrush. As you saw, I just dabbed the image with a paper towel just to get any extra water off of it. You can dry it with a heat tool if you'd like. It's okay if it's damp when you do the second step of the flower. It will just help it blend a little bit better. But if you'd prefer to have it dry before you go to the next step, that's totally fine too. Now here I'm doing a more detailed stamp that goes over the top of the solid one with pure poppy. And I love the detail it adds, but I want to make it look a little more like a watercolored image. So I'm just going to go back in with my aqua brush and just add a little bit of water, blending and dabbing. And it will blend even more as it dries. As you blend the two ink colors together, it just adds sort of a shaded look. You get lights and darks, and it's so pretty. Now I'm going to add a couple of leaves. I have a solid leaf and a more detailed leaf image that goes over the top. For the solid image, I'm going to use green parakeet ink by Paper Tray Ink. I'll add one right here. And another one on the other side, just to balance it a little bit. And I have the detailed image on the other side of my block ready to go. And I'm going to use New Leaf ink for the details. So I haven't blended the leaves yet. I'm going to do that after I've stamped the detail. Okay, I'll put that away, and then I'll take my aqua brush again and just blend slightly so the dark color blends a little bit better with the light color and looks more painted. You can even go around the outside of the leaves to add a little bit of green shading around the leaves. Next, I'm going to add a branch from the Spring Woods stamp set, and I will be using Classic Craft ink for the branch. And I'm just going to squeeze it right in between the flowers and the leaves here. Have a little branch for the bird to sit on. These are the leaves that go with the branch, and I'm just going to take my green parakeet ink once again and just add a few little leaves here and there. Just to pull the green down to this corner, so I have a little triangle of green on my card. then I'll take my brush one last time and just lightly dab the leaves to blend them. One thing I forgot to mention is that you can dab your brush on a paper towel just to remove the color if you're changing colors. So here I want to do the branch, and I just dabbed it onto a paper towel to get the green removed. Now I'm going to be stamping a bird, and I've already die cut one of the birds from the Spring Woods dies. And the first layer of the bird is going to be stamped in bright buttercup. And then there's a second layer to this bird, which I will do in Summer Sunrise. I always do the second layer in the darker color. Summer Sunrise is a little more of an orange. So that's just going to fit right over the top. Now I'm going to blend the inks on the bird with a little bit of water again and make him look painted. Just using a tiny bit of water. And I'll just dab the extra water off. And he's going to look so cute with the flowers. And last I have a birthday sentiment from Bold Blossoms, and I'm just going to stamp that in dark chocolate ink to go with the branch. Usually I use black, but I think the brown will work better in this case with the branches. I'll put that ink pad away, and here you can see I've added the bird with some dimensional adhesive. And I didn't get the flowers stamped exactly where I wanted them, so I'm going to trim the card down a little bit on the top and side. And I have some clear sequins that I'm going to add with glossy accents. I always add my sequins in odd numbers, so I usually add 3, but you can do 5 or 7. And I place them so that they draw your eye down the card towards the sentiment. Here you can see the finished card front, and I've attached it to a card base, and this technique is so much fun. I hope that you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching.